Get it.
Well, anyway.
All right, welcome back to Crew Call. We are here with Doug Smith from Light of Life Rescue Mission. He is the development director of Light of Life. And thank you, Doug, so much for being with us today.
It's an honor.
Well,
Yes, thank you.
It's an honor to have you. So what we want to do is just, first of all, talk about what's going on at Light of Life. If you can give us a status update, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, so we have been very, very busy over the past 2 weeks. Obviously, everybody's impacted by this, but we are an essential service. People's life depends on us being open. And so we've been open. We're committed to serving those who come to us in need any way that we can through this. And what that looks like on a daily basis literally changes on a daily basis and an hourly basis based on the latest CDC information, what the county's doing, what the state's doing, what our nation's doing. But we're doing everything we can to ensure that the homeless men, women, and children of Pittsburgh are cared for, fed, and have shelter and a place to go.
What do you think the biggest differences have been right now at the shelter? What kind of provisions have you put into place or protocols have you put into place?
Yeah, we're trying to do our best for social distancing. And so around mealtime, we're still committed to serving people who come to us. Now, if someone has a temperature or is showing symptoms, we give them a box meal to go and we encourage them to get medical help. We've expanded the time of our meal service by an hour, and we've actually set up 3 different stations to eat at. And so we can have people eat at least 6 feet apart from one another for social distance reasons. And that's probably been the biggest thing. And again, just taking temperature checks. We have hand washing stations and porta johns outside of the mission. People don't think about this a lot, but with so many businesses having to close, that also means that public restrooms and public sinks to wash your hands also have dramatically decreased. And so, those are just things that we're coming up with on a daily basis to serve those in need. And so those have probably been the biggest changes as far as our guests are concerned.
Wow.
What are you doing for the team? Because you have a unique situation, right? Yeah, you deal with all of them, like homeless men and women in the community, but then you have a pretty large staff of people that you have to, volunteers and workers. How is that happening? How are you adjusting?
Yeah, so our program staff are my absolute heroes. They're there daily and are honored to be there and serve. So that has been awesome to watch step up. We're still accepting volunteers. And so anyone, obviously we want courageous volunteers who are willing to come in and serve. There is risk affiliated with that. So we make sure we sign a waiver and that they're aware of that. But yeah, our staff has just stepped up. It's been really cool for me to see how we've responded, because in crisis, you never know how people are going to respond, and to see how our team at Light of Life has responded makes me really proud.
You were talking a little bit about Jarrell in terms of his coordination with other organizations in the city. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Jarrell's our executive director. He's been on staff for over 5 years, but been the executive director for almost a year and a half now, and he is incredible. It's been so fun to watch him lead, and yeah, he's been the one driving us of, hey, we are here to serve, while other organizations have been closing their doors. And again, that's their decision. We're saying, hey, if we close our doors, where are the people going to go? Mm-hmm. And so that he's been driving that with his heart, and he continually communicates to our staff that this can be our finest hour as an organization. And so we've been working really closely with the city and with Operation Safety Net on addressing the needs of homelessness. And I think we've been taking a leadership role in that. And it's really strengthened our partnership with both of those organizations. And I feel like all of our guests and clients are better off because of it.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. How's the team been? How's your team been?
Yeah, so we have a lot going on with our team on the personal level too, and in addition to all that, so it's been tough. But I would say it's just so important to check in. Again, I think everyone is feeling isolated. The majority of my team is working from home. There are a few that go in on a daily basis, and but yeah, I think it's just important to check in. I know just calls one-on-one. We constantly do something in our meetings where we just do check-ins and we ask people to rate themselves on how they're doing on a scale of 1 to 10 and why. And some people think it's funny and ridiculous, but for me, it's one thing to say, hey, how are you doing? And most people just say good, but to actually have someone rate how they're doing and give you a reason why, it's really opened up the door for us as a team to be vulnerable with each other and be real with each other. And for us, we're a faith-based organization. To have the opportunity to pray with each other and actually lift someone up when they're down has been huge. And I know right now a lot of our team has been in the 6 or 7 range. And so we've been locking arms, and, you know, we always say that we're a family, and that's what family's for. We go through life together in the high times and in the low times. And it's just awesome to lock arms with the team and know that we're all in it together.
Communication is probably a huge part of what makes this work. How have you guys like adjusted your communication? Of course, you're using Zoom. You said you were on Zoom since 7 a.m. this morning. I get it. But how are you guys adjusting? How are you making sure that you have so many different facilities and you have 2 new buildings happening at the same time. So how are you keeping it all coordinated?
Yeah, well, we're very thankful for technology. So yeah, pretty much everything's on Zoom. So as you mentioned, our team specifically has started using Slack, and that's been a game changer. And it's just funny, we just decided to try out that as a tool before all this happened. So it's funny how fast that all happened. We're working from home. Hey, you can come down. My daughter's up. You hear Sophia? Okay, well, come here and we'll get her in a minute, okay? What? Okay, you can go talk to her. See, this is a beauty. This is working from home. But technology, Slack has been awesome. And for us, it's I know as far as our task force for the coronavirus and how it's impacting Light of Life, we meet daily and on weekends at 8 a.m. and more if we need to throughout the day based on updates. Our teams have continued to meet as they always do every single week. All staff meetings that we do through Zoom, we've scheduled those. It's probably been averaging 2, maybe 3 a week over the course of this. And again, because we just want to consistently not just communicate through email and documents, but we want people to actually feel and see us. And so for us specifically with Jarrell, we have him address our staff. And I think for the staff to see his heart and hear from him on a consistent basis and let everyone know that it's going to be okay and we're here to serve, I feel like it keeps everyone rowing in the same direction and their spirits lifted. And so that's been huge.
If people wanted to help Light of Life, how would they help at this time?
Yeah, the best way for you to stay up to date on our most current needs is on our website. As soon as you go to our website, you'll see COVID-19 as a menu item. It's in red. You can click on that, and that'll actually have the best ways for you to help at the top of that page always. And it'll also have an updated list of any protocols that we changed. But right now, if you're specifically watching this and want to help, we need physical item donations. And again, this is where I would tell you go to the website. But cleaning products, we need canned goods because we're starting food distribution. We need all kind of things. Okay, good job, Libby. The best. And so yeah, you can get a list of immediate needs there. Financial donations, right? And so we are committed to keeping our doors open. We don't know how this is going to impact us as an organization, but we're not going to let that stop us from serving those in need. And so, is this your schedule? Thank you.
Hot off the press.
This is our daughter's schedule. So anyway.
That's awesome.
Financial donations, prayer is huge, and volunteering, as I mentioned earlier, we're still looking for volunteers to come and serve. And so, yeah, that's all I'll say.
And let me ask that, the volunteers, what do they need to do? What would they do when they're on site? What happens there?
Yep. So they can reach out. This is all on the website as well. You can reach out to our volunteer coordinator, and she will walk you through the next steps as far as the form you have to sign, what shifts are available, and what opportunities are available, whether that's coming down and serving meals, helping us at our donation center with food distribution, et cetera. But she would be the best contact, and we can get you involved and plugged in pretty quickly, given the circumstances.
That's awesome.
And I'll just say this: if you're watching this and want to help, but you're an at-risk population, this goes for our staff as well. We want you to stay home. We think it's great you want to volunteer. We think it's great our staff wants to stay. But if you're at risk, you're at risk, and we never, from a responsibility standpoint, want to put you at further risk than you may be. So
that's incredible. And so, and just to talk a little bit about your personal life, so you have a couple kids.
I do.
And so how has been working from home for you?
The first couple of days was great because we still had help at home. We had some help with the girls, but our help disappeared. So this is day 2. And so my wife is also working full time. And so we had a staff meeting yesterday and literally walked through our daily schedules. And it's like, okay, this is your time with the kids. And if I have a call, I'm on Zoom and just trying, like right now, they're okay. And then, we just try to be adaptable. That's the biggest thing we always tell people is be adaptable, be willing to change, and communicate. That's it. It's like Laura and I will meet daily. Hey, what does today look like? when do you absolutely need time to focus on work, and when can I take a break and watch the kids? So it's a challenge, but just remain flexible, and it's the only way we're all going to get through this. Her BB back, she's ready to go. Okay, well, tell her I'll be right up.
We don't want to keep from that very important meeting. So we thank you so much for talking with us today. And if you had anything for people in these situations in terms of, you know, the anxiety of jobs and stuff like that, what would be your advice right now?
Two things that I would speak to. One, from a communication standpoint, we talked a lot about communication. We talked a lot about plans, and I'm not just saying this, but like, you guys have been super helpful to us as an organization in helping us think through these things. And so if you're watching this and you're connected with Flying Scooter or thinking about them, they're brilliant. And they've really helped us be proactive on the front end of this and to think through our communication plan. So, and I wouldn't just say that about Flying Scooter. Like, if you don't have outside help that you can get input from and advice from, you're missing something as a leader. Because again, your leadership team's great. You're going to think through things, but you also sometimes need outside perspectives. So I think that is huge. And to everyone else, I would just say very simply, hey, we will get through this. I don't know the answer. I don't know what the next 2 weeks look like, but I believe in the people. I believe in the human race. And I know that we'll get through this. We're resilient. We're problem solvers. We will get on the other side of this, and we will be better for it. And so that's my encouragement to everyone watching this. And again, I'm a person of faith, so I can start preaching if you want me to, but I don't know if this is the appropriate audience or not. So
we'll get you later for that.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon for sure.
Hey, thank you guys so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the value that you add to Light of Life every day. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.